What's going on, guys? Back with another video. My name is Christopher Bridges. It's 3:30, 2025, and we're going to be talking about configuring SSH protocol using OpenSSH on Linux, and then, you know, putting in the PowerPoint as well, some best practices and enhanced security as well. All right, so let's get started. Leave a like and a comment if you like the video and everything like that, and we'll get started. Alright guys, so basically we're going to start off with talking about the overview of SSH. What is it? What is SSH? Well, it's a secure network protocol used to remote communication. Um, it also encrypts data, ensures confidentiality, and provides authentication. It's commonly used for remote service administration as well. Now, the OpenSSH is an open source implementation of SSH. It includes tools like SSH, SCP, SFTP, and SSHD for server management. Okay, so some key features of SSH we're basically going to be talking about here today we're going to start off with encryption. SSH uses strong encryption to protect data transmitted over the network. It also supports asymmetric encryption like public-private key pairs for secure authentication and key exchange. Authentication itself, there's two different types: password authentication and public authentication. We're going to be talking about here today, and also two-factor authentication. Now, password authentication is a traditional method, but less secure than the key-based authentication. Authentication is more secure as the server checks that client's public keys to authenticate, and then the two-factor authentication adds a additional layer of security. Data. Now next we're going to be talking about data integrity. SSH ensures data integrity using hashing algorithms like SHA-2, protecting against tampering during transmission. Port forwarding is another one. Local and remote port forwarding allows secure tunneling of traffic between local and remote machines. Next would be dynamic port forwarding. It enables creating a secure proxy via SSH tunneling. And then the last one we're going to talk about is the SSH can create secure tunnels for applications that need to send sensitive data over a secure network. And that's basically what tunneling is. It's just, sending, like I said, sending secure data through a network that's supposed to be secure. Recommendations for secure SSH configurations that I think that are important is use public key authentication. This replaces passwords with secure base authentication, and it also reduces vulnerability to brute force attacks. Next would be disable root login. This prevents direct access to the root account via SSH, and it also enhances security by using sudo for administrative tasks. Next would be use strong encryption and protocol settings. This configures modern softwares and algorithms, and it also disables weak encryption methods. Alright, so there's 3 steps to how to set up public key authentication. The first step, you want to generate a key pair on the client side by using this code as you see on the screen. Second step, you want to copy the publicly to the server by using this code. And then step 3, you want to disable password authentication on the server by using this code right here. And then after all that is done, you want to restart the SSH server just to make sure that the server is actually restarted and completely reset. That way you can start it again. How to disable root login is the next thing we're going to be talking about. There's 3 steps to it. First step, you want to edit SSH configuration by using this code that you see here on the screen, sudo. And then step 2, you want to disable root login. And in step 3, you want to restart the SSH server, just like the last one, by using this code right here that you see on the screen. This will be able to disable the root login and restart it, making sure that it works. The next thing we're going to be talking about here today is configuring strong encryption and protocol settings. There's 3 steps to this. So the first step, you want to edit SSH configuration file by using this code that you see on here on the screen. Step 2, you want to update Sapphires and algorithms. And then step 3, you want to restart SSH server, just like the last few steps. That way you can configure strong encryption and then use the protocol settings as well. Alright guys, so next we're going to be talking about testing your SSH configuration. So one of the very few things that you want to do when testing your configuration, you want to test the login. This is from the client machine, testing the login into the server by using this code that you see on the screen. If you set up a public key authentication, make sure your private key is available. That's very, very important. Also, verify root login. Verify root login is disabled. That's also very, very important. To attempt to log in as a root, you want to use this code that you see on the screen. It should deny access if the root login is properly disabled. Next, check the encryption and algorithms. Test your SSH connection with Ferbo's output to verify strong authentication or encryption by using this code that you see on here on the screen. This confirms that the selected Sapphires and algorithms appear in the output. Next, test port forwarding. For local port forwarding, test by using this code that you see here on the screen. This ensures the forwarding service is accessible locally. Next, you want to check the SSH service. To ensure that the SSH service is running, you want to use this code that you see here on the screen. If not, restart the service by using this code that you see here on the screen. You want to use this code to restart it. And then next, log the log monitoring, check SSH logs for any unusual activity by using this code that you see here on the screen. Now, there's some additional recommendations that I want to add to this video. So basically, we're going to go over the 3 additional recommendations that I have for you guys. Which, to start off, you want to keep the SSH software updated. As we, went through, the PowerPoint and the video and everything like that, restarting and, starting it up and everything like that, you also want to make sure you update it throughout the process as well. Regularly update the OpenSSH using this code as you can see on the screen. Now, number 2, you want to limit SSH access with firewall rules. This restricts SSH access to trusted IP addresses using IP tables or UFW. Now, third, you want to install fail to ban. This protects against brute force attacks by banning IP addresses after multiple failed login attempts, which is also super important as well when someone's trying to get on your server. So I have it on here. Now we reached the conclusion of the video. We're going to go over some key points that we talked about over here today. First one is SSH for secure remote access. SSH is essentially for securely managing remote servers by protecting data for evash dropping and tampering. Public key authentication, stronger or more secure than passwords. Reducing the risk of brute force attacks is also super important when it comes to your server. Disable root login. By enhancing your security by preventing direct access to the root account, administrative attacks are performed via sudo. So, disabling your root login is also super, super important. Encryption standards, using modern Sapphires and disabling weak ones, ensuring better protection against attacks is also super important. Regularly update and monitor. Keep SSH software up to date and use tools like fail to ban to protect against brute force attacks. Key best practices to eliminate SSH access and use strong um, phrases for private keys and monitor logs for suspicious activity is also super important when it comes to your server. You want to make sure that you stay on top of any suspicious activity before it even happens. That way, you know you build that practice. That way, it never happens. Now, we're at the end of the video, guys. I'm gonna leave the questions and the discussions for you guys here at the end of the video. If you guys like the video, of course, like always, leave a comment and a like, and leave your questions down below as well. I want to know what questions you guys may have about what we talked about here today. But as always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.